You are a B2B service-based business owner, and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact, and more revenue in your business. Tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Christine Campbell-Rappin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. All right, everybody, you are going to be in for a treat today. We're going to talk about the real importance of a world-class, global, personal brand and how this can open doors of opportunity, create big ripples of change, and let you shine, finding exactly the people who need your message and need your services. I am so excited to introduce to you today our guest. This is an incredible gentleman, somebody you might be going, wow, how on earth did you get him into your space? I want to introduce you, if you don't already know, the incredible Vladimer Botsvadze. He is a global powerhouse when it comes to this topic, and he is coming to you today. So welcome. We're so excited to have you here today.
Hi, Christine. It is a pleasure to be a guest on your podcast. Many thanks for this invitation, and I'm excited to share my actionable and high impact strategies with your audience today.
So excited. So we want to start at the beginning because the most powerful thing I actually got sent this morning, so this is very timely, was the power of emotions. And in the world of business, and that's who we're serving here today, business often stops feeling emotional. We stop with certain emotions, we don't go into the deep end, but you have a real perspective that if you're going to be a storyteller on a global stage, emotions are a big part of this. Talk to me about how you see storytelling, why it's so important, and the role it plays.
It is a great question, Christine. Thank you for this great question. I think emotions are everything nowadays because emotion gets me hired. Emotion allowed me to build my 2014 to 2020 was building my following from scratch. And because I every time people were tweeting me, liking me, and leaving comments on my tweets, I was grateful. I was sending my video messages, I was including handles in my tweets that I was showing gratitude. So I think through communicating with my Twitter community, Twitter followers, I have built trust, I have built community, I have built emotional connections with my subscribers and followers. So I turned this following into a strong community through showing gratitude, showing empathy. So I think I'm very down to earth. Even when I had 200 followers on Twitter, when I had 5,000 followers on Twitter, I was down to earth. When I had 20, 30, 40, 50,000 followers, I was still down to earth. So this communication, this willingness to communicate, to interact, because I'm very interactive with my audience. And of course, I have told my stories through tweets, through videos. Because, for example, I had my iPhone X in 2019. I uploaded 45 videos to YouTube. And I shared my stories with the world, my authentic stories. So I love sharing these authentic stories with business world. I think building emotional connection with the world has put me on the global map. I now work with speakers bureaus. I'm a mentor at Techstars. I'm a judge for the Webby Awards. And so building this emotional connection with my followers, building trust, building community, providing value, communicating, empathy, active listening, and interacting with my followers. I'm very honored that I have this privilege to be a guest on your podcast and to talk about marketing, the social media, storytelling, emotional connections, and branding, personal branding, because I practice what I preach, and I believe that I'm a practitioner of my craft, and I am very delighted that I serve my audience. Personal branding is all about serving your audience, And it's never about sending advertising or sending sales pitches to your followers. It's all about providing value. It's all about giving away your best advice for free. It is all about writing your legacy, writing your legacy. And I believe that we are in the golden age of social media. We are not living in a virtual reality yet, but it is likely that we are going to be in the virtual reality in the future. But it is a golden age of social media. It's all about communicating. It's all about humanizing your brand. It's all about showing your heart, showing your face, showing your smile. As Elon Musk has transparency communication with Tesla's owners, whereas the rest of traditional automakers executives are in their ivory towers. They don't interact with their consumers. I think it is the best example. Transparent, audacious, to be bold, intrepid, and to put your best foot forward, to build emotions, to interact, whether it is tweet, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or wherever you publish your content. You should be interactive to build emotional connections, and it is what builds your trust, and it is what builds your authority.
Guys, I hope you heard that right out of the gate. It was a laser. I am hired for my emotions. And I think that that's something so powerful, because we do get hired because we are human. And I think we
Yeah.
forget that. Like, it's a very simple concept, but it's, well, I want to edit, I want to filter, I want to polish. And I'm like, and what I'm hearing from you, and you give some good examples, is in most executive roles, we don't even know who the CEO is. We don't see the visible leader. We see them behind the glass. We see them in the tower. But where we create magic in this golden age of media is when you get to just show up human and be able to show your emotional bandwidth. And I love this, because when we talk about authenticity, and it's a buzzword, a lot of people desire it, but struggle to be it. And so you've talked about being transparent, being genuine. And I love how you also say, I was as honest at a small follower as I am now that I'm on a really big platform and I have a lot of
Yes.
influence.
So,
And you have a care for that influence. Talk to us about how you stay true to yourself as more and more people are watching, because our natural human inclination is to hide maybe some of those emotions that we.
well, I think it's all about being down to earth, because I'm never on my high horse, because I see so many people, executives, people who are very condescending, and they don't interact with the followers, and I don't have an Ivy League education, and I never worked for Boston Consulting Group or Meta or Amazon. I never, but I now work with Techstars. I work with Webby Awards. I work with UCLA, UCL, and University of Westminster. I sit on the advisory boards, the United States AI Institute, Data Science Institute, Cybersecurity Institute. So I think my profile has been growing by leaps and bounds because of my passion, because of my authenticity, because I, for example, reinvested my last dollar into my website a few years ago. And nowadays, when you Google digital marketing keynote speaker, my website, VladimerBotsvadze.com, is ranked #1 website on Google. Because why? Because I built trust, I built authority, I never spent any dollars on advertising, and so I think it's all about, because I have been a guest on more than 50 podcasts. I have more than 100 global media interviews. I work with speakers bureaus. I built my trust, authority, and credibility on Twitter, Instagram. I sent 130,000 tweets. I posted more than 60,000 times on Instagram. I left no stone unturned. My cloud score was 80 in 2018, but they put the kibosh on cloud. But in 4 years, from 2014 to 2018, I was creating content with a vengeance. It paid off. It has put me on the global map. I have told my stories. I gained recommendations. I started judging awards. Started speaking at global events. I'm now an invited speaker at some business schools, so I think I won 200 global awards, and I'm very honored that I serve my audience, and I want my audience to win in their business. And nowadays, generative AI has started replacing so many people's jobs. Literally, Christine, anyone who is in marketing, coding, literally replaced by generative AI, 85%. 85%, and 50% is your personal brand. 50% is your personal brand. Just imagine that 41% of code on GitHub has been written by generative AI. And I think Albert Einstein's IQ was 155, and ChatGPT 5.0's IQ is going to be somewhere 175, 180. Just imagine that. I think of 85 million jobs will be replaced by generative AI and AI next year, and it is a big challenge nowadays for human beings to survive and thrive in this age of AI and automation. Because nowadays marketers are focused on algorithms, automation, and they forget human connection. So what Professor Philip Kotler said about marketing. Marketing is a combination of psychology, sociology, and anthropology. So we should never forget human connection. We should never forget communication. So communication dictates everything that is going on in this world. And more 62% of Fortune 500 brands have disappeared since 2000. 62%. Christine, 62%, because they were boardroom centric, competitor centric, not consumer centric. So communication is everything. Your personal brand is your corporate brand. Elon Musk personal brand is a brand. It is. We live in this reality in 2024. If people don't want to face this reality, they are losing market share. They are going out of business. Because the market does not care about brand excuses. They don't want to be on social media. They don't want to communicate. They don't want to show their heart, to show their smile, to show their face, as Elon Musk shows through his Twitter. And that's why Tesla's brand value nowadays is $71.9 billion. Toyota's brand value is $30 billion. Mercedes-Benz stands at $23 billion, and BMW stands at $22 billion. Because why? Elon Musk's personal brand has power Tesla success, whereas the rest of traditional automakers depend on backward-looking advertising. And we are in the streaming economy, and nobody sees, believes, and trusts those ads. Even I'm a judge for the Webby Award, so I can see what kind of battle is going among the brands to win consumers' attention. So what is marketing today? Marketing is all about winning attention and retaining attention. So lifetime value and retention are everything. So the brands that understand comprehensively this lifetime value and retention are the ones that going to be winners in the foreseeable future, as Amazon, as Netflix, as Spotify, the rest of brands that are agile and nimble.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because when we talk about this, and I love this story that you share, because lifetime value means you are committed for a life. And I think when I am in the world of podcasting and I'm in the world of business, it's that I have absolute certainty I will be here in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And I play my game with the idea that everything stacks, everything compounds. We don't start with the reputation and a global brand. We build it through every conversation. And when your team had reached out and said, we want to come and play on this podcast, I was like, I wonder if this is a real person or if you're even aware. So what did I do? I reached out to you personally and said, hey, I know that you are a very well-paid keynote speaker. I know you're on a global stage. Do you know that your team is doing this? Because we'd love to have the opportunity to talk. But you responded. And this is the key I want you to hear. No matter what size of business you have, do not automate it. Do not abdicate it. I want you front and center. And that means you carve out the time, because what makes your business sticky, what makes your business thriving is the fact that there is a human powered conversation going on.
Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely agree with you, Christine. Because it's a human connection is the be all and end all nowadays. And I think we are in the streaming economy nowadays, and we consume Spotify, Disney Plus, the Netflix podcast because we consume no ads. So consumers are willing to pay extra not to consume ads. Just imagine that trust in businesses has declined more than 15 years in a row. Why? Because companies messaging does not respect consumers' time. Brands messaging. So they no longer respect consumers' time. So it's all about respecting consumers. It's all about caring consumers. It's all about educating consumers. It's all about entertaining consumers. It's all about caring about your consumers. And I think Emily who and built $1 billion cosmetic brands through blogging, caring about consumers, and she was treating blog readers as friends. And her marketing team used to interview the biggest friends from Instagram for their websites. That is how they care about consumers in America. And in Europe, when I speak at Europe, I have to convince them to invest in social media and to communicate with their consumers. So it is a world of difference.
It's interesting to see the difference, and I find this interesting because you've heard this on this platform. Of course, all of my audience knows. I say the biggest competitive advantage you have is that you are you, and you get to show up as human. And so I love this theme that to create a world-class brand, you need to do it, because in the world of marketing, there is a lot of sizzle and there's a lot of polish. And the example you said is, why did it run so well in the marketplace? Because it was unscripted, because it was real people having real conversations. And the fun thing about the human, which is why I think it's got so much momentum behind it, is because it's the wild card. You talk about entertainment. I don't need it to be beautifully graphic, polished, and edited. I want to show the blooper reel. I want to show the real person. I want to say, I am watching this live because I don't know what's going to come out of their mouth next. And we love that. Consumers love that. So you have to be, as a business owner, brave enough to decide that your personal brand is essential to your success.
Absolutely. Absolutely at an individual level and corporate level, it is decisive nowadays. It is critical. So I think that 2030 AI's contribution to global GDP will be $50.7 trillion. And I see what brands are integrating AI to reduce costs, to maximize their efficiency. They are firing marketers, copywriters, bloggers, coders. And I think if majority of code on GitHub has been written generative AI, what does it mean? That I will not need to hire copywriters. I will not need to hire marketing managers. And ChatGPT 5.0 is coming soon, literally, which means that we reduce costs and we improve efficiency in a better way. So I think then these AI tools that are being AI startups that are being built nowadays in the world, and I think Perplexity, which is an amazing search engine powered by AI. I use Perplexity more than Google now. Then I use ChatGPT on a daily basis. It has become my thinking partner. But I don't forget to communicate with my audience. It is a golden age of social media. 8.1 billion people in the world, and there are 5.1 billion social media users. I think content distribution across social media channels is free, Christine, whereas if you wanted to advertise like 30 years ago, you had to pay newspapers to advertise. You had to pay advertising agencies to advertise on billboards and TV channels to run your commercials. Whereas social media content distribution is free, but majority of brands are not using social media to their fullest advantage, and they still continue. They are still proud of their TV commercials, and I think leopards don't change their spots, and I think that is a reason why brands are losing market shares, and AI is every brand's competitive advantage. Even if you use AI for your personal brand building, you can be in a catbird seat to gain ground, go places, and move up in the world. So, but I think my content was authentic from 2014 to 2022 when I was building this whole thing, this Twitter, Instagram, Medium, everything. Because I did not. Nowadays, I save time while using ChatGPT. It gives me great ideas. But when I was working 16 hours a day from 2014 to 2020 to build my personal brand, I was communicating, and I sacrificed and I reinvested my last dollar into my website. And I'm very honored to drive such transformational results through my hard work, passion, and persistence.
Yeah, and I hope everyone listens to this and feels inspired, because you are responsible for creating a world-class brand. We want you to get hired because of your humanity. I want you to stay as a visible leader, talking directly to your customers always as a number one priority. And so we always ask every guest that comes onto our platform, and I think I might know the answer to this, but I want to know, what are you doing right now to amplify your message and find new opportunities for you to drive ripples of change, big impact, and client growth for your business? What are you doing right now that's working?
Well, I wear so many hats, Christine. I think because I'm going to start lecturing at business schools, I'm a judge for the Webby Awards. I'm a mentor at Techstars. I sit on the boards of 3 institutes in the United States. Then I also tweet. I create content. I'm a guest on podcasts. I'm featured in magazines. So I have won certified speaker awards, and 2 days ago I was included among the top 51 most inspiring global thought leaders by Motivational Speakers Agency, and I am listed alongside Simon Sinek, Tony Robbins, Ariana Huffington, and other renowned figures. And I'm very honored to be listed alongside such renowned thought leaders. And I think I don't rest on my laurels. I always look to my laurels, and I think I constantly reinvent myself. I always try to build a great experience with my followers. I always try to help them. I always try to retweet them. I always try to support them. And I think this two-way communication, because I think my interaction is not a cul-de-sac one way. It's not cul-de-sac. It is two-way, and it is what sets me apart, because I'm very interactive. Whether I speak at conferences or I tweet, wherever I contribute through my insights, I always try to provide value, and I always try to build a solid reputation. So I think anyone should care about their reputation, and to create more content, to tell their stories, and to take advantage of social media channels that are available at their fingertips, and they can reach millions of people, as Emily Weiss, who built Glossier through blogging. Anyone can stand a great chance of building their businesses to such exponential level.
I love it, guys. It was all about influence. If you heard it, it is all about influence. It is all about the foundations. I still do what I do when I started, which is so important, because, guys, you don't start it and walk away. You start it and keep the engine running. It has been an absolute blast to have you as our guest. Vladimir, how do people find you? Give us the website one more time. We want people to go connect to you, get into conversation with you, and learn from this really globally well-known thought leader on digital marketing and where we're headed in the future. Give you the website. Where do we find you? Let's make it happen. What's the website? How do we find
Hello?
it? You've said it once before, but I want to make it one more time here, please.
Yeah, I think people can check out my website at vladimerbotsvadze.com. Then they at Lado Botsvadze. Also, I'm available on Instagram at Vladimir Botsvadze, and I'm also on Medium, where they can explore my recent news, and also they can like my Facebook page at Vladimir Botsvadze. So let's connect, and let's build great things in the future.
Absolutely, guys. Go connect to him. You've got his name. You've got the details in the show notes. I want you to connect from this individual, and I want you to model the behavior which has made him successful, because it is a sure path to success for your business. Guys, thanks for being here. Thank you for being our guest on Amplify Your Marketing Message. Everybody, we will see you all on our next episode. Be sure to see you there. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell-Rappin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit christinecampbellrappin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next episode.